Let's go up to Stu. He's got some breaking news. Police are tracking this driver, right, Stu?
Yeah, they're tracking the driver, and it's one of those ones. It's definitely holiday season. Holiday talks about family, and then when you talk about family, not everything is always good. This started as a restraining order in the South Pasadena area this morning. Apparently, the person inside that car banging on a door, but there was a restraining order against this person. And then, well, they called 911. That's what you do. Then South Pasadena PD actually got there, and they saw the vehicle, and then the pursuit started. The vehicle was on the freeway for some time. Basically, we are right now, you can see it, we're in the Monte area, and, you know, he's basically not being chased by anybody. There's definitely law enforcement above them, and I have a feeling that Dylan, my pilot, not knowing exactly where it is because, you know, he does have it now, but there is no law enforcement on the ground, so there's no lights and sirens, but this vehicle continues to drive just a little bit erratic. You know, it hasn't stopped for any of the stop signs. That's something that does concern me. Thank goodness it's a little bit lighter today, but you can see right there, that's a solid red and making a U-turn. Again, no law enforcement behind it, no lights and sirens, nobody trying to stop the vehicle, but this definitely has law enforcement in the air. Again, as we understand it, this has all started from some sort of restraining order being broken this morning as the driver of that vehicle banging on a door, clearly wanting to talk to somebody. But again, we don't have any real details except for the fact that it was a restraining order. And again, you can see that vehicle just making U-turns out here. It was in a residential area just before, and I thought actually he was probably maybe going home. But continues to just make these erratic turns out here, and we're definitely in downtown El Monte.
Well, Stu, I'm wondering because he made several U-turns. I mean, he's been ignoring largely like the traffic lights and stop signs. Why is this not a pursuit? Why are they just tracking him?
I think it's one of those ones where it's a lot of protocol involved, and, you know, in law enforcement, they've had a lot of, you know, there's been a lot of fatalities and bad accidents involving pursuits. So the law enforcement, you know, the police departments, they have set in new protocols to say, okay, this is what we're going to chase, this is not what we're not going to chase. Right now, this driver, you know, it started in South Pasadena. South Pass, they don't have any of their vehicles here in El Monte. El Monte PD, I'm sure they know about it. I'm sure they watch Fox. But the deal is do they want to get involved? Do they want to put a car behind it? They want to try to pull him over? Clearly, this person not going to pull over because we've seen the pursuit going on. I don't think the difference between El Monte PD or South Pass is going to be what's going to make the call for this driver to pull over. So right now you can see him definitely on the phone looking up, maybe even at us. There's a lot of other law enforcement. There's actually a lot. There's two other law enforcement helicopters above it. So, you know, they definitely on the phone right now. Maybe the person at the house where the restraining order was being broken, maybe that person calling, trying to talk some sense into him, saying, hey, just pull over. The fire department there, maybe they're out, but they're probably hearing the helicopters. And now I understand it that there are some black and whites getting closer by. That's what Dylan just said. He said he saw some on the roadway down there. So maybe they're gonna turn this back into a pursuit. Maybe they're just staying nearby in case he pulls over. But right now, it's just kind of following this person. Hopefully they don't do anything too erratic, and the best thing would be just kind of pull over, and maybe, oh, look at that, wrong
That's
side
what I'm
of the
saying,
road.
right?
This
so he's wrong way driving. He's doing all these
whenever
moves.
Whenever something with family, you know, emotions start running high, and poor decisions are made, and you just don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Well, yeah, because usually it is involving domestic calls where police officers encounter really deadly situations, sadly and unfortunately.
We have no IFB.
Oh, I guess Stu can't hear us, but yes, we see that time and time again where it is for a domestic violence call, and things can escalate fairly quickly because emotions are running high. You know, I'm thinking as we're watching this, the streets are not quite as busy as they could be and will be, right? So a little bit more freedom in movement there. It was interesting. We saw him not too long ago, stopped at the red light, though.
He was. That was a big intersection.
And then,
but, you know, he had several close calls with other cars. And then I guess if the idea is you don't want to make things worse by upscaling it to an actual pursuit, I mean, he's driving erratically anyway. So what's the utility with that? And he's making another
a lot of these random turns. Oh, is he parking?
Is he parking?
Turn. He's parking right there at the curb.
Okay.
And, you know, maybe this. He's out of the vehicle. Okay. Out of the vehicle. That's a plus. And I venture to say law enforcement probably going to be close by. I'm going to stay a little bit wider. Looks like he's just walking into his apartment. This is where it might become more of a standoff. But if this is the area where he lives, then they might actually have an address. I'm going to kind of see if this is an apartment or what. Oh, it's the Civic Center. Maybe he's just going to go and talk to the judge. I don't think the judge is there right now, but definitely just pulled up at the Civic Center out here, and this is going to be in downtown El Monte. Maybe he's going to turn himself in. You know, really, it is actually the police station as well. I just saw the Statue of Liberty, so I know exactly where we are. There you go, El Monte PD pulling up. So definitely the right thing to do. Okay. I definitely would say that was the right thing to do, but hopefully it doesn't turn out to be a standoff. There's one of the law enforcement helicopters. Definitely went inside there, and hopefully this just comes to a peaceful end right there. But again, just whenever the holiday season happens, we have a lot of good, but then there's a lot of family, and then there could be a lot of other issues as well. That's but definitely, you saw those officers. Boogie has made the turn, and the Civic Center definitely went to the police station portion of the Civic Center.
Well, that was certainly interesting. Very nonchalantly, casually pulled up, even backed into the spot. Yep. You know, and then just got out and went in. Okay. Well, best case scenario.
They didn't have to go to him. He went to them.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Stu.
Yep.
Keep us updated.
They're all so different.
Gotcha.
They are.
All these pursuits.
Let's go back out to that breaking news that's happening in El Monte. Stu, a man who is being tracked by police, actually very calmly turned himself in, apparently.
That's right. And you know what? We got some facts that we can give to you guys right now. He did the right thing. I mean, come on. I mean, he started out doing the wrong thing. Apparently, all started with a restraining order being violated up in the South Pasadena area. The people at the house, well, they called 911, and that red Prius, pretty easy to spot, was fleeing that location. South Pasadena pursued it for a little bit, got over here to South El Monte. By that time, though, they had basically given up. The car was just driving along by itself, but the helicopter was still over it, and then made some U-turns and drove here to the El Monte police station. We watched as that guy got out of the vehicle, walked over to the door of the police department, walked inside, and apparently just gave himself up. So he really did the right thing in the end. But right now, you see El Monte PD still out there. They got a lot of paperwork to do, and of course, a lot of stuff to sort out. Hopefully, that guy will get whatever the problem was. I hope they get it all taken care of. I'm Stu up in Skybox, sending it back to you guys in the studio.
Oh, yeah. Best case scenario there as far as how it ended. Thank you, Stu.